Good evening. Let's start the very discussion. The first topic is economic growth and development. Okay. So it is Indian position in global economic growth and India's challenges and concern in realizing its potential growth while meeting the target for the budget deficit. Why it is in news? The IMF, International Monetary Fund, project that India's 2% share of the world's economic growth will increase over the next 5 years from 16% to 18%, and the country's economy grow more quickly because at present India is on a faster growth trajectory. So India's share in economic growth will increase from 16% to 18% in the world economic growth. For the major contributing factors to India's projected growth, India is an agrarian economy and Indian agriculture is still dependent on monsoon rainfall. So while the overall rainfall was 6% below the expected during the monsoon season due to 36% deficit in August, the special distribution is quite even. So 36 out of the 36 state and union territories, 29 of the 36 there is sheep, normal or above normal rain during the recent monsoon period. That is why, as monsoon is normal during this particular period, so it will have a positive impact on the agriculture product. That is why the growth trajectory will be faster and the economic growth will be facilitated by the growth in the agriculture sector. Okay, the SBI Monsoon Impact Index as has been released by the SBI, which consider the special distribution has a value of 89.5, harming much better than the full season index value of 60.2 in the last financial year 2022. That means in the last financial year the contribution was 60.2, value was 60.2, but this time the value will increase to 89.5%. Class रे अच्छे सरले कथा है, क्लास सारी कथा है, क्लास सारी की कथा हो चला. Okay, so this is the monsoon prediction or monsoon impact index released by the State Bank of India. Fine. So the new company registration, the substantial number of new company registration indicates a desire for a rapid expansion of the economy. So this is again another factor that the substantial number of new company registration registered in India during the first half of 2023. Okay, 24. There are about 93,000 registered company, which is up from 59,000 in the last 5 years. Okay, so 5 years back, the total number of companies registered in India has been reported at 59,000 and it has increased to 93,000 during the first half of 2023. It's interesting to notice that from 395 in 2018-19 to 622 in 2023-24, a 58% rise. More new companies are registered on average every day. That means, so in the last financial year and the present financial year, the number of companies, so many new companies are open every day. So when companies are open, so this shows that there is a demand for goods and services for which the companies are being created and registered and they have started their business. This shows a positive economic growth in the country. Then credit growth. Since the beginning of 2022, the credit growth of all scheduled commercial banks has been increasing annually. Up to September, loans increased by 20% and aggregate deposit by 13.2%. That means, so in the commercial bank, deposit increased by 13.2% and loan disbursement increased by 20%. The government anticipates that the holiday season will keep credit demand strong in the upcoming season, because from October, so in India the festive season starts, and in the festive season there is an increase in demand for finance, because people starts, there is a buying spree started among the people go on purchasing, so that creates new demand for the products, and definitely government get more tax, and more goods and services are procured by the people. That also create a demand for credit. The government anticipates that the holiday season and the festive season will keep credit demand strong in the upcoming months, starting from October till December, January. Formalization of the economy. For the past 10 years, the Indian economy has been more formalized, which is responsible for the increase in credit. The banking sector is progressively integrating people who have never had credit before. But 40% of the new credit accounts created in the last 9 years come from first time creditors. That means, so they are the new creditors. 40% of the new credit accounts that have been opened are from the first time creditors. At least 10% of the incremental credit growth is attributed to this particular group. That means the first time creditors, they have started borrowing substantial amount from the banks. Okay. So then, what obstacle does India need to overcome to achieve its anticipated growth? That is it a weak demand? A number of reasons, including low income group, high inflation, unemployment, and the effect of the COVID-19 outbreak, contributed to India's weak demand for products and services. Since 2019, so there is, India is going through that low income growth, because more and more people became jobless. So that led to low income growth. So people get low income. Keep pushing. So in the COVID outbreak, economy fall, okay, income fall, growth or inflation increase. This has created some obstacles in the path. This has lowered the government's tax collection and impacted the economy level of investment and consumption. Because the COVID, there is a recession in Indian economy, so also global economy. COVID has an impact on the economy and a fall in the demand because people's income started to get reduced. So demand by the public was also reduced. That led to less tax collection by the government also because when people purchase, they don't earn, they pay less tax. Then unemployment, in spite of the economic explosive expansion, unemployment is still a major problem in both the rural and urban areas. The COVID-19 pandemic has made matters worse by causing numerous harm to shut down or scale back operations, which has resulted in employment losses. The periodic labor force survey report for 21-22 from the National Statistical Office states that the unemployment rate for that year was 4.1%. Then in inadequate infrastructure, India's lack of power, water, sanitation, railway and road impedes its ability to grow economically and compete internationally. The World Bank estimates that India has an infrastructure deficit of about $1.5 trillion. People's health and quality of life are also impacted by poor infrastructure, particularly in rural areas. Because roads, railway, hospital, educational institutions are comparatively less in the rural area, the quality of life of the people in the rural area has suffered a lot. In balance of payment deterioration, India's imports surpass its exports. When a country's imports are more than its export, that result in a current account deficit, as it is called the CAD or current account deficit. So what? When a country's import are more than its export, that result in an increased current account deficit, as it is called, which is popularly called as CAD, current account deficit. This is a reflection of its low export competitiveness and reliance on imported products and services, particularly gold and oil, in comparison to 2021. India's import and export fell by 3.63% and 6.59% respectively in 2022. It will be challenging to reach the USD 2 trillion export goal by 2030 at this rate. Geopolitical tension. India's geopolitical ties, particularly border disputes, may have an effect on the stability of the region and possibly on the country's economic future. India is becoming more and more susceptible to world economic uncertainties, such as continuous war and conflict that would cause supply shortages and inflation of crude oil. Then trade imbalances. India and a few of its main trading partners have unbalanced trade, which can impact its economic growth and stability. Trade imbalance means so our trade is not growing as per the expectation. Increasing private investment. Due to its ability to boost competitiveness, productivity and innovation, private investment is a major contributor to economic growth. In order to facilitate business operation, lower corporate tax, offer credit guarantee and draw in foreign direct investment, the government has launched a number of programs. To lower the cost and risk of conducting business in India, further reforms are required in sectors including labor, land and logistics. Then increasing competitiveness by diversifying its export, enhancing its infrastructure, encouraging innovation and digitization, and integrating with the regional and international value chains, India may become a more competitive player in the global market. The phased manufacturing program, Made in India, the production link incentive, PIL, are just a few of the manufacturing support initiatives that the government has unveiled. To guarantee fair competition for both domestic and international business, trade liberalization, and regulatory simplification must be implemented in conjunction with these programs. Right? Encourage green growth. As part of its climate change goal, India has a pledge to lower its carbon intensity and raising its capacity for renewable energy. To fund environmentally friendly infrastructure projects, the government has also established green funds. Nonetheless, greater work is required to address environmental issues that threaten India's development and well-being, such as air pollution, water scarcity, waste management, and biodiversity losses. Right? Preserve economic stability. India may be able to keep its inflation rate low and steady, which will encourage investment and trust. Additionally, India may guarantee sufficient credit availability and liquidity for the productive sectors, particularly for small and medium-sized business. To encourage saving and investment, India might also expand its financial institutions and market. In the conclusion, Namaskar. Sir, namaskar. India may be able to keep its limitation rate low and steady inflation rate, which will encourage investment and trust. Additionally, India may guarantee sufficient credit availability and liquidity for the productive sector, particularly the small and medium-sized business, which is called the MSME. Okay, to encourage saving and investment, India might also expand its financial institutions and markets. Conclusion, steps in the right direction, such as simplifying the regulatory framework for ease of doing business and mitigating various challenges, will ensure India's economic growth progress in the long run. Okay, then science and technology next. The ISRO just completed the maiden test of the Gaganyaan safety mechanism with success. Gaganyaan is expected to be launched for the first time in 2025 on manned mission, and subsequently a manned mission will be launched. Gaganyaan safety mechanism. On December 18, 2014, the crew module made by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited completed its first experimental unmanned flight. The crew module design was finished as of May 2019. The Defence Research Development Organization will provide vital human-centric technology and system, including fire suppression, parachutes for the crew, modules safety recovery, healthcare for the crew, radiation protection, and food grade for space travel will be provided by the Defence Research and Development Organization. Integrated airdrop test as was conducted. So test vehicle mission, pad abort test, this will be dropped, unmanned flight, then the manned flight, the last stage. So figure of the Gaganyaan development timeline. The Human Space Flight Center is primarily responsible for leading the ISRO's Gaganyaan program to coordinated efforts. It also places a strong emphasis on human safety and high standards of reliability when conducting research and development in new technological fields, including bioastronautics, crew training, human factors engineering, life support system, and human rating and certification. Future prolonged human space flight operations such as space station construction, interplanetary cooperative manned expeditions to the moon, Mars, and near Earth asteroids would require these areas. The test vehicle flights, pad abort test, and integrated airdrop test are some of these demonstrator missions. Prior to human operation, all system dependability and safety will be shown via unmanned mission. First, a humanoid will be sent to space, and in the subsequent period, a manned mission to space will be sent by ISRO from Indian soil. The LMB-3 rocket, the HLMB-3 human rated the launch vehicle of the Gaganyaan mission is the ISRO's heavy lift launcher, which has a long history of reliability and success. There are 3 stages in this total: liquid, solid, liquid, and cryogenic. 3 stage engines will be used: solid stage, liquid stage, and cryogenic stage. In the event of an emergency at the launch pad or during the ascent phase, the crew escape system, the CES, powered by a series of fast-acting high burn rate solid motor, guarantee that the crew module and the crew are removed to a safe distance as part of the HLMB-3. The crew module and service module make up the orbital module that will orbit Earth. Modern avionics system with sufficient redundancy in mind for human safety are installed aboard the orbiting module. Or the orbital module. For the crew module is a habitable space with an environment similar to Earth. Its double-walled design includes an unpressurized exterior structure with a thermal protection system and a pressurized metallic inner structure. It contains the avionics, deceleration system, life support system, crew interfaces, and human centered goods. In order to guarantee crew safety from touchdown to descent, it is also built for re-entry. In second time it can be used. Crew training for Gaganyaan. Gaganyaan crew training is provided by the Bangalore-based astronaut training facility, which offers classroom, flight suit, simulators, and physical fitness training to the crew members who will go in the Gaganyaan mission from Indian soil. The academic courses: Gaganyaan flight system, aeromedical training, recovery and survival training, aerogravity familiarization through parabolic flights, mastery of flight procedures, and crew training simulations training are all included in the training modules provided by the Gaganyaan test flight system. Okay. So the program also includes yoga, periodic flying practices, and aeromedical instruction for the astronauts. Regarding Gaganyaan, India crewed orbital spacecraft Gaganyaan, from Sanskrit Gagana, a celestial, and Yan craft vehicle is meant to be prototype spacecraft for the Indian human spaceflight program, sending man from Indian soil to space. 3 people will be able to board the spacecraft, and an enhanced version with renewables and docking capability is planned. The goal of this indigenous mission is to show off human spaceflight capability. Over the course of this 3-day journey, it will launch into a 400 km orbit and land safely in Indian Ocean seas to return them to Earth. The human crew module will be launched into space using the GSLV Mark III rocket, which is the most successful one. Key facts: 3 number of crew members to go to the manned mission. Cost of the program is estimated to be around 9,023 crore. Duration of the mission is around 5 to 7 days. Aim of the mission: to open opportunities for research and development in science and technology and in areas such as medicine, agriculture, industrial safety, pollution, waste management, water and food resources management in the space. The importance of Gaganyaan project: it has economic potential. Nearly 60% of the equipment needed for this mission will likely come from private Indian companies. The head of ISRO said that 15,000 new jobs will be generated by the Gaganyaan mission 13,000 of them in the commercial sector, and the space organization would require an extra 900 workers. Technology. The frontier of the science and technology is human spaceflight. Technology spin-off in the field includes robotics, health, agriculture, industrial safety, pollution, waste management, and the management of water and food resources will benefit from it. Scientific temper and inspiration. The goal is to instill a scientific temper in young people and encourage them to pursue career in science and technology for the benefit of the country. Space tourism. India can gain trust and draw a sizable number of space tourists from both domestic and international sources thanks to its solid track record of ISRO's successful launches and completion of the Gaganyaan mission. Push for Indian space program. Industry, academia, national agency will also be involved in the country's largest initiative, Gaganyaan. The lessons learned from this program can be used to ISRO's upcoming space missions, including Chandrayaan-3 and the Shukrayaan. Okay. Decision development. By providing a unique microgravity platform in space for experiment and test beds for the future technology, the human spaceflight project could pave the way for India to establish its own space station by 2030. Like the International Space Station, similarly, India plans to have its own space station in the space. The global vestige. The successful launching of the Gaganyaan, India will move up to 4th place in the global behind United States, China and Russia in terms of human space mission launched successfully. So the mission could not only help the country gain status and recognition, but it will also make it a major player in the space sector globally. So India will join the exclusive club of space superpowers. Gaganyaan is successful. Success of Chandrayaan has made India an established space power, but Gaganyaan success will make it a prominent space power. Necessary technology has already been created by ISRO, and numerous testing have been carried out to ensure the mission's successful launch. Additionally, this will strengthen India's strategic standing in the world and serve as a powerful instrument for international space policy. The Gaganyaan first flight test vehicle abort mission. So, ISRO successfully completed Gaganyaan first flight test vehicle abort mission 1, TBD-1. It is officially known as the in-flight abort demonstration of crew escape system, CES. The TBD-1 is a single-stage liquid propellant test vehicle powered by a modified VANIK-IAS engine. The payloads are crew module, the CM, and the crew escape system, located in the fore end. The CM or the crew module utilized but similar to that which will contain crew members during the ascent into space, although it was not pressurized. The aim was to access the CES. Okay, so CES stands for crew escape system. Ability to transport the crew module to safety in the event of an emergency. About the test, it simulated the abort condition during the Gaganyaan mission ascent trajectory when the CES with the CM shoots and splashes down into the water. ISRO will therefore conduct a test flight with the Vayu-Mitra robot. So next, which will go to space, the Vayu-Mitra. Gaganyaan is India's first manned space mission. It intends to launch a 3-person crew into the 400 km low Earth orbit for 3 days. After United States, Russia and China, India will be the 4th country to send a crew spacecraft into orbit by 2025. In the Global Tax Evasion Report 2024, the European Union Tax Observatory has published its Global Tax Evasion Report 2024. Tax evasion is an illegal activity in which a person or company intentionally fails to pay a tax through tax burden. Fail to pay. 1 trillion profit migrated to tax havens in 2022 with negligible effect from policies such as the base erosion and profit shifting 2015. Global billionaires have low personal effective tax rates between 0 to 0.5% of their wealth. Offshore tax avoidance has decreased as a result of the authentic transmission of bank information. Reasons for tax evasion: high tax rate, low penalty for tax evasion, preferential tax regime adopted by country in order to keep tax rate low, a lack of global collaboration, and so on. Common method of tax evasion includes misreporting income, cutting funds outside the country, utilizing sell business, falsifying financial accounts, and so on. Recommendation: remove the loopholes that encourage tax competitiveness and impose a minimum corporate tax of 25%. Introduce a new worldwide minimum tax of 2% of billionaires' wealth. Make progress towards the establishment of a global asset registry, okay, and internationally registry of all wealth and asset. Implement system to tax wealthy people who have lived in a country for a long time and choose to relocate to a low tax country to avoid the tax. This is what steps needed to check the tax evasion globally. And the Project Uddhav launched during the inauguration of Indian Military Heritage Festival. But it is a collaborative project between the Indian Army and the United Service Institution of India, a think tank. Objective to synergize ancient wisdom with contemporary military practices for modern security challenges. The ancient Indian knowledge system related with war includes Chandrayan's Chanakya's Arthashastra, strategic partnership, diplomacy, soft power, projections, and the Tirukural, ethical conduct in warfare. Tirukural is a Tamil text by the Thiruvalur, the famous Tamil writer. In the purple economy, it is also referred to as the care economy. Okay, so it recognizes the importance of care work, empowerment, and autonomy of women, the functioning of the economies, well-being of societies, and life sustainability. Care work can be paid or unpaid. Men's involvement in unpaid caregiving and domestic work is significantly lower compared to women. Care work can be paid or unpaid. Men's involvement in the unpaid caregiving and domestic work is significantly lower compared to women because women are more engaged in caregiving work. According to the International Labour Organization, the value of unpaid care work would be 0.4% of the GDP for men and 3.1% of the GDP for women because women are more engaged in unpaid care work than in comparison to the male member. Manual scavenging. The Supreme Court directs the union and the state government to completely eliminate manual scavenging. Manual scavenging is defined as the act of cleaning, carrying, or handling human excreta in an unsanitary latrine, an open drain or pit, or on a railway track, among other things. In 2021, India has roughly 58,098 manual scavengers, with more than 75% of them being women. In 2018-2022, 339 people died during cleaning sewage and septic tanks. Okay. So directions granted in the case of Dr. Balram Singh vs. Union of India for efficient implementation of the Protection of Employment and Manual Scavengers and their Rehabilitation Act 2013. Supreme Court has ordered that compensation for sewage death be doubled to 30 lakhs. Permanent disability and other forms of disablement are compensated at 20 lakhs and 10 lakhs respectively. Scholarship and skill program are available to assist victims and their families in their rehabilitation. Provision of employment as manual scavengers and the Rehabilitation Act 2013. And no individual or organization may contact or employ anyone for manual scavenging. Cleaning excreta using protective gear, on the other hand, is not called manual scavenging. Violation of the act is punishable by imprisonment for up to 2 years or a fine of up to 1 lakh rupees or both. Local government must identify manual scavengers dismantle unsanitary latrines and keep commercial sanitary latrines in good working condition. National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem. Namaste. Swachh Bharat Mission, the world's manhole was replaced with the machine holes in official usage. National Safai Karmacharis Finance and Development Corporation to provide financial assistance or concessional rates for their upliftment and skill addition and taking new initiatives. The first radio burst, next topic. Astronomers have discovered the first radio burst from a galaxy merger that occurred 18 billion years ago. First radio burst is a bright and brief burst of electromagnetic radiation detected at radio wave frequency that lasts thousands of milliseconds. The first radio bursts were detected for the first time in 2007. Until now, the oldest known first radio burst dated back to 5 million years. The Australian Square Kilometre ARRI Pathfinder, a radio telescope in Australia, was used to detect it. The first radio bursts are common phenomenon in the universe, but because they lose energy when they reach the Earth, they are difficult to detect. The first radio bursts pass through hot gas as they travel across galaxies and between them, causing the low frequency radio waves to slow down more than those at the higher frequencies, a phenomenon called a dispersion. Scientists can now identify and measure matters between galaxies that are now undetectable to humans. Causes of first radio bursts are not entirely known. However, stellar remnants such as the white dwarfs, dense hot compact star remnants, neutron stars formed by massive star collapse, and colliding galaxy are considered sources of the first radio burst. Significance assist in exploring the expansion of the universe and even weights of the universe are known from this radio burst. Then coming to the answer writing, India's growing population, if not leveraged adequately, can translate from a demographic dividend to a demographic burden. Critically evaluate the given statement. The term demographic dividend describes the potential for economic growth that arises from changes in the age distribution of a population, particularly when the proportion of the working age population surpasses that of the non-working age population. India's population is predicted to surpass China's by mid-year, according to United Nations Population Fund annual State of the World Population Report. There are prospects for economic growth when the population growth, but India also runs the risk of losing out on a demographic edge if significant steps are not taken to capitalize on this advantage. How the increasing population of India presents a demographic opportunity, contribution to economic growth, a higher proportion of productive individual who can make a positive impact on the economy can be advantageous for economic growth. In light of the current situation, there exists a noteworthy demographic opportunity that has the potential to raise per capita GDP by 43% by the year 2061. Women empowerment. So longer lifespan and lower fertility rates allow women to seek employment and break out from traditional home duties. This leads to greater degree of female empowerment. So that is, so at present, so as the women constitute half of the population, government has started taking so many steps to empower them. So they can be active participant in the economy as well as in the society. Okay, so how the increasing population of India presents a demographic opportunity, contribution to economic growth, a high proportion of productive individual can make positive impact on the economy, can be advantageous for economic growth. In light of the current situation, there exists a noteworthy demographic opportunity that has the potential to raise per capita GDP by 43% by 2061. So women's empowerment, longer lifespan and lower fertility rates allow women to seek employment and break out from the traditional home duties. This leads to a greater degree of female empowerment. Then how the increasing population of India presents a demographic opportunity. Rise in saving rates. An increase in the saving rate is one of the demographic dividends main effect. An economy will save more when there is a demographic dividend because there will be fewer dependents and the resources that the dependents would have otherwise used up can now be resolved. Greater investment in human capital. Women who have lower fertility rates are healthier and face less demographic financial strain. Additionally, it enables parents to allocate more funds for each child, improving academic and health results. Labor supply. As more people reach working age, there is a corresponding rise in the labor supply due to population growth. But the extent of this advantage seems to depend on the economy's capacity take in and use the additional labor force effectively. India's demographic dividend could become a demographic burden in the following ways if it is not appropriately leveraged. The Center for Monitoring Indian Economy reports that the country's unemployment rate is currently between 7 to 8%. This is due to the fact that job growth has lagged behind GDP growth. Merely 40% of the workforce that have the ability to work is either employed or actively seeking employment. Furthermore, even with highly educated credentials, there remains a persistent young employment problem in India. The pressure on natural resources, an increasing population creates a new difficulties and increases demand on essential resources including food, water, land and energy. India's demographic dividend could become a demographic burden in the following way if it is not appropriately leveraged. Okay. So women's participation. So the informal economy employs in India, the vast majority of the workers hold informal jobs. The informal economy employ 9 out of 10 workers. Out of 10, 9 are employed in the informal economy, posing a significant challenge to policymakers. These laborers are more vulnerable to exploitation since they are sometimes invisible to the system. Women's participation in the workforce is declining. The World Bank's most recent data shows that women's participation in both the formal and informal labor market in India is declining. Women made up to 23% of the workforce in 2021, down over from 27% in 2005. Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, two nearby countries, have reportedly roughly 32% and 34.5% women participation in the labor force, whereas India is only 23%. Regional difference across the nation. Depending on the demographic makeup of each state in India, different states have different potential for demographic dividends. For instance, the population of Kerala is aging, whereas the workforce in Bihar is expected to grow till 2051. Way forward, by increasing production, employment and salaries, investment in education can boost overall economic growth and provide citizens with more opportunities to participate in it. There is a huge skill gap since during the past 10 years, skilling activities have not kept up with population growth. Consequently, the emphasis ought to be on enhancing the reskilling, and this would promote the creation of jobs. Investment made in women and children through the adoption of progressive law and initiatives. It is imperative that increasing concern, including migration, aging, skilling, female workforce participation, and urbanization, be addressed through federal government reforms. Given India's population makeup, there are more opportunity for democratic dividend than ever. So it is necessary for the nation to concentrate on the key components that turn a demographic excesses into an economic advantage. So, given India's population makeup, there are more opportunities for a demographic dividend than a burden. It is necessary for the nation to concentrate on the key components that turn a demographic excesses into an economic advantage, because the present demographic excess of India should be taken to its advantage, should be turned to its advantage by making the population the demographic dividend and contributing to the economic growth. Coming to the MCQs with reference to the Agniveer, first the following statement: the Agniveer are recruited through Agnipath scheme across the three services, Army, Navy, and the Air Force. Okay, right. Seva Nidhi is a scheme which is contributed by the Agniveer, approximate 30% with equal matching contribution by the government. Right. An Agniveer's family is entitled to receive a pay of the remaining tenure from the date of death, amounting to over 13 lakhs, as well as a contribution of 8 lakhs from the Armed Forces Battle Casualty Fund. So all the three are correct. So coming to the question which are incorrect, none is incorrect because all the three are correct. What's the following statement regarding the raising questions in Parliament? MP can submit up to 5 notices of questions, both oral and written, for a single day. That is right. Generally, the notice period for a question is at least 17 days, but in case of a short notice question, a notice of less than 8 days is prescribed at the minimum period. This option 2 is wrong, but 1 is correct. The answer will be A. But the following statement regarding the capital expenditure: expenses related to acquiring, improving, and extending long-term assets or investment expected to benefit for more than one financial year is called capital expenditure, right? It included acquiring new machinery, routine machinery, maintenance, employee salary, no. It is subject to depreciation and amortization, no. So only one is correct, but it's A. Consider the following statement: microliths are present at top layer of the ocean surface. The microliths, though among primary producers in the ocean, have lesser photosynthetic efficiency than the terrestrial plants. Is right. Microliths can produce food and absorb CO2 even in less availability of sunlight or iron. Only one is correct. That is the 2. And the following statement regarding the Jagannath temple: an example of Kalinga architecture featuring distinctive curvilinear tower and ornate sculptures. Right. It is also called the Jamanika Tirtha because here, according to Hindu belief, the power of Jama, the god of death, has been nullified due to the presence of Lord Jagannath. And the Snana Jatra is a major festival associated with the deities of Jagannath temple. So all the three are correct. And the following statement: graphite is a naturally occurring mineral composed of carbon and is one of the 3 crystalline forms of carbon. That is right. Graphite is a good conductor of electricity but a bad conductor of heat. Graphite has lubricating property due to its layered structure that allow for easy sliding between the layers. So 2 are correct. So cyclone Hamoon, so it originated in the Bay of Bengal. So the following statement regarding the best tourism village: the Dhordo village of Rajasthan has been conferred the prestigious title of the best tourism village 2023. It is wrong. The award is given by the United Nations World Tourism Organization. So 2 is correct. So which of the following set of countries share a border with Serbia? So it is Montenegro, Bosnia Herzegovina, and Croatia. They share border with Serbia. That answer is C.
So consider the following statement with reference to the Settlement Guarantee Fund (SGF). A settlement guarantee fund is a corpus used for settlement of trades during defaults. Okay. All intermediaries such as the stock exchange, clearing of corporation, and brokers contribute toward that settlement guarantee fund. So settlement guarantee fund is issued only in forms of security. So 2 are correct. 3 is incorrect. Thank you for watching. Keep watching regularly to update yourself. Thanks a lot.